Hello, my name is Steve Baker. Today I'm going to be the presenter for this quick video for identifying customers who are on the 3Com NBX VCX platform and why you want to migrate to the VoxIP system. So we appreciate you joining us in this video, so let's go ahead and get started. Once again, this video provides a technical overview of the VoxIP system in comparison to the 3Com NBX and VCX. Once again, it's here we want to present you the information to show you how similar but how more expanding the VoxIP system is compared to the 3Com platform. Both systems started off, one of the few phone systems that had web management was the 3Com system. And it allowed for easy access, easy management from a single location to remote locations as well if you were out of the office to get to your phone system. So it made it real convenient. But one of the limiting things in the 3Com system was the ability to have multi-role capability for administrators and users. You pretty much had to give them all or nothing for administration rights, and sometimes this was really dicey compared on the, to the actual end user who was trying to access the system and do something into the system to cause some kind of outage. On the VoxIP system, we still provide a default full admin user account, but we also have the ability to create partial designated accounts to restrict people to specific website access to the processes inside the phone system itself. You can also create administrative accounts with multiple different types of naming nomenclatures. So the default username for the VoxIP is supervisor. But if you also wanted to make it more user-friendly and user-generic to get, user-specific to track what someone does, you can actually give a totally different administrator account the ability to manage the system. One of the other features, too, that the VoxIP system really shines here in the management section is the fact we do multi-browser support. Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari. It doesn't matter. The JavaScript is very minimum. We do not have any Java per se to make the interface heavy. Sometimes in the 3Com system, you would actually have systems that would lock up and you'd have to reboot. The great thing about the system is it's a Linux-based system, so you literally can start and stop the web daemon if you have to. And using the this type of management is great once again for trying to designate, hey, this person's a phone system backup, or I need them to generate CDR reports for me, and we can grant access just to those individual services on the phone system. In the old days, the dial plans were, if you were using the NBX, it was a big long text file, and it was very non-intuitive. And even on the VCX, when they tried to make it graphical, it still lacked in the ability to make things more specific and more easy for the administrator. On the VoxIP system, inbound and outbound routing is done through a GUI interface. All you have to do is create a inbound route or an outbound route and tell it where you want to go for the destination. And inbound routing is as simple as grabbing a DID number and routing it to the destination. It's a drop down, whether it's an auto attendant, a hunt group, individual user for their own individual DID. It's very simple to use and intuitive. And outbound dialing is as simple as just designating the type of digits that are going to be dialed and where you go after those digits are received from the phone system. And once again, these are all done through a web GUI interface with drop-down options. Very simple to use. And even our analog ports, you just assign a DID number to it, just kind of like what you would do with the auto extension in 3Com. And as soon as the port became active, it would actually pass that onto the phone system, and that's how we route even old analog lines as well. So dial plan configuration is really simple. Once again, we knew the 3Com platform did support auto attendants, and you'll start hearing them now called IVRs, even though they're not only interactive for voice response, but they also called IVRs by pressing digits on the phone, just like you did on the old auto attendants. But one of the cool things about the VoxIP system now is there is no limitation on what you can do as far as taking a file. As long as it's a WAV or an MP3 file, you don't have to worry about formatting. You just upload it to the system, and the system's going to convert it to the correct format. We have the same button selection, 0 through 9, star, and pound, just like you did before to create the user input. And one of the unique things that the VoxIP system has is really any destination can be routed off an auto attendant. Before, the auto attendants would limit you to where you could go. Now, if you want to have a button press and run it to either a page group or to someone's voicemail. I mean, it's real simple to use. And once again, these are our drop downs as well inside the web GUI interface to make your auto attendant creation really simple. Telephone management, you'll start hearing this called Endpoint Management, because in the SIP world here, endpoints are not really designated telephones or gateways. As long as it's an endpoint and it has something other than the phone system, you'll start hearing that called that way. But one of the cool things about the VoxIP system compared to the old 3Com platform, you have a lot more monitoring capabilities on the phone. You can go and log in and see real time what the device is reporting from IP address, last time it updated for the phone system, the call state of any device. And this not only applies to the telephones, but also the ATAs. In the old days, when you had to get an ATA and give it an IP address, you actually had to bring it to the phone system, put an IP address in it, hope it took, and then take it across a layer 3 router and hope it works. Now all your ATAs, which are going to be referred to as FXO and FXS devices, they can now be manageable just like the phones. The phones have a web interface to manage them, so do the ATAs, the FXO and FXS devices. So you'll have full access to those devices instead of relying in the old days, hopefully, that IP address took for that ATA. Also, all the endpoints now have the ability to do packet sniffing, so you can do full IP trace to inspect the network traffic to see if there's an issue with that device from a network standpoint as well. All the devices, for example, like the telephones have, since they're kind of their own little standalone systems themselves, they only get call setup, call routing, and call teardown from the phone system. They have a lot of the features now built into them locally. So this gives the ability to have better survivability. The phone systems crash, you can configure that endpoint to try that system, and then after that, go try another system and make, your basic call, your 911s, your things like that. You may not get voicemail, but it at least gives you maximum uptime for that, endpoint device. In the VoxIP system compared to the 3Com system, with the 3Com system you had analog PRI, and you started to getting into SIP with the VCX. But as you can see here, we do support all three of those, but now we can include cellular gateways and even use the Google Voice API interface to make outbound and even inbound calls. So you can create your trunk status, or let's call it your call availability, more in a robust fashion by using a lot of these other options now that weren't available in the 3Com, NBX, and the VCX. Another thing, too, with the old 3Com platform, traditionally, the phone system was there just to do, like I said, call setup, call routing, call teardown. And if you needed any other advanced services, you had to go to a third party. Well, now the VoxIP has all these what we call advanced systems built into it by default. You can see we have call recording. It's natively in the system, and it supports all of your trunks. Some of the third-party companies only did digital, some only did analog. Well, now you can do anything from SIP trunks, cellular gateways, Google APIs. We can record anything. We have a full fax server that has all the inbound and outbound routing. We have a conference bridge. This is a professionally full-featured conference bridge. So you have everything from conference bridge administrators, users incoming and outgoing record notifications, name recordings, all the things that you would pay for. It's all built into the conference bridge now. We also have call-out services for good broadcast-based notification services, especially in schools and things like that for snow days, or you're going to have an event change. These call-out services are built into the system by default. And one of the unique things, too, is we're getting more and more integration into the web. So you can put a web call out, a web call me now button on your website, and it'll actually make a hook into the phone system, ring one of your internal designated destinations, and call that person who actually asked for the call to be transferred to them now for faster customer service. So that's kind of just a quick overview. The 3Com, we said once again, the 3Com system was a great system, and it did a lot of things, but it lacked a lot of future capabilities that, they just weren't going to put time and effort into to program those services that needed to come. The VoxIP system picked up where the 3Com system stopped. The interface is just as easy or even easier. The capabilities and the future growth that we have for the product. The great thing about the system is it's full client server SIP-based VoIP system, so there's not going to be any ends to where we can go with this product. If you'd like to see more technical information or a demonstration, please visit our website or send us an email at ipc@ipcnv.com. And my name is Steve Baker, and once again, I appreciate you watching this video. Have a great day.